Hi guys, I am back again. Danielle, Karla, Salvador on your screens. And we are up to the last part of my discussion about the official rules in softball. I've already posted 2 videos wherein the first video contains the rules 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the second video, it contains the rules 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, in this video, the last part of this discussion, we are going to talk about the rules 9, 10, 11, and lastly, rule number 12 in softball. Let's start with the rule number 9, dead ball, ball in play. Section 1, ball is dead. The ball is dead and not in play in the following circumstances. When the ball is batted illegally, when the batter steps from one box to another, when the pitcher is FP only, taking the signal or appears to be taking the signal from the pitcher's plate, or SP only, steps on the pitching plate. When no pitch is declared, when a pitch ball touches any part of the batter's person or clothing, whether the ball is struck at or not. When a foul fly ball is not caught. When the offensive team causes interference. When a fair batted ball strikes an umpire or runner before touching a fielder, including the pitcher, and before passing a fielder other than the pitcher without being touched, or another fielder had a chance to make an out after passing a fielder excluding the pitcher and in the umpire's judgment. Note that when he is hit by a fair, untouched batted ball while in contact with its base, unless he intentionally interferes with the ball or a fielder making a play, the ball will become dead or remains alive depending on the position of the fielder closest to the base. Section 2, the ball is in play. The ball is in play in the following circumstances. At the start of the game and each half inning, when the pitcher has the ball while standing in his pitching position, the plate umpire has called play ball. When the infield fly rule is enforced, when a thrown ball goes past a fielder and remains in playable territory, when a fair ball strikes an umpire or runner on fair ground after passing a fielder excluding the pitcher and to no other fielder had a chance to make an out or touching a fielder including the pitcher. When a fair ball strikes an umpire on foul ground, when the runners have reached the bases to which they are entitled, when the runner is called out for passing a preceding runner, except when a runner is called out for passing a preceding runner while the ball is dead, the ball will remain dead. When no play is being made on an obstructed runner, when a fair ball is legally batted, when a runner must return in reverse order, when a runner requires the right to the base, when a base is dislodged, when a runner runs more than 0.91 meter from his base path in regular or reverse order, when a runner is tagged or forced out, when the umpire calls the runner out, when a live ball appeal play is legally being made, when the batter hits the ball, when a live ball strikes the photographer, groundskeeper, policeman, etc., everyone who is on the field on the game assigned to the game, when a fly ball has been legally caught, when a thrown ball strikes an offensive player, if the batter drops the bat and the ball rolls against the bat in fair territory and in the umpire's judgment, there was no intention to interfere with the course of the ball, when a thrown ball accidentally strikes a coach, for the FP only, when a ball has been called on the batter, and when 4 balls have been called but the batter may not be put out before he reaches the first base. For the FP only again, when a strike has been called on the batter and when 3 strikes have been called on the batter. When a foul tip has been legally caught. And for the SP only, when the batter slips, when the ball slips from the pitcher's hand during his wind off or during the backswing, when a runner is called out, for getting a running start from a base on any fly ball, when a runner abandons a base, does not attempt to advance to the next base, enters his team area or leaves the field of play and is called out, when a runner is called out for being physically assisted by anyone other than another runner, except when assisted on a foul ball not caught, the ball will remain dead. For the section 3, delayed dead ball. There are 5 situations when a violation of the rule occurs. An umpire recognizes it when the ball remains live until the conclusion of the play. These situations are an illegal pitch, catcher's obstruction, plate umpire interference, obstruction, detached equipment contacting a thrown ball, a pitch ball, or a fair batted ball. Rule number 10, umpires. Section 1, power and duties. The umpires are the representatives of the league and organization by which they have been assigned to a particular game, and as such, are authorized and required to enforce each section of these rules. They have the power to order a player, coach, captain, or manager to do or omit to do any act which in their judgment is necessary to give force and effect to one or all of these rules and to inflict penalties as herein prescribed. The plate umpire shall have the authority to make decisions on any situations not specifically covered in the rules. The plate umpire is fast pitch, must wear a black face mask, black or tan padding and black throat protector and a body protector and shin guards with knee protection. An extended wire protector may be worn in lieu of a throat protector on the mask. The umpires should introduce themselves to the captains, managers, and scorers. The umpires should inspect the playing field boundaries, equipment, and clarify all-round rules to both teams and their coaches. Section 2, the plate umpire. The plate umpire shall take a position in back of the catcher. He shall have full charge of and be responsible for the proper conduct of the game. Shall call all balls and strikes. Shall by agreement and cooperation with the base umpire call plays, hit balls, fair or foul, legal or illegal caught balls, on plays that would necessitate the base umpire leaving the infield. The plate number shall assume the duties normally required for the base umpire. Shall determine and declare whether a batter bunts or chops a ball, a batted ball touches the person or clothing or of the batter. Shall render base decisions when required to do so. Shall determine when a game is forfeited. Shall assume all duties when assigned as a single umpire to a game. All these mentioned are the job or the duty of the plate umpire. Next, section 3 is the duty of the base umpire. The base umpire shall take such positions on the playing field as required in accordance with the relevant umpire systems. Shall assist the plate umpire in every way to enforce the rules of the game. Section 4, the responsibilities of a single umpire. If only one umpire is assigned, his duties and jurisdiction shall extend to all points. The umpire's starting position for each pitch shall be from behind home plate. Section 5, the change of umpires. Umpires cannot be changed during a game by the consent of the opposing teams unless an umpire is incapacitated by injury or illness. Section 6, umpire's judgment. There shall be no appeal from any decision of any umpire on the grounds that he was not correct in his conclusion as to whether a batted ball was fair or foul, a runner safe or out, a pitch ball a strike or ball, or on any play involving accuracy of judgment. No decision rendered by any umpire shall be reversed, except that he be convinced it is in violation of one of these rules. Section 7, the signals. To indicate that play shall begin or be resumed, the umpire shall call play ball and at the same time motion the pitcher to deliver the ball. A strike shall be indicated by raising the right hand upward, indicating the number of strikes by the fingers and at the same time calling strike in a clear and decisive voice. To indicate the ball, no arm signal is used. To indicate the total count of balls and strikes, the balls are called first. To indicate a foul, the umpire shall call foul ball and extend an arm horizontally away from the diamond, according to the direction of the ball. To indicate a fair ball, the umpire shall extend an arm toward the center of the diamond using a pumping motion. To indicate a batter or runner out, the umpire shall raise the right hand upward above the right shoulder that a player is, with face closed, to indicate a batter or a runner out. To indicate that a player is safe, the umpire shall extend both arms horizontally to the side of the body with palms toward the ground. To indicate suspension of play, the umpire shall call time and at the same time extend both arms above the head, and the other umpire shall immediately acknowledge the suspension of play with similar action. To indicate a delayed dead ball, the umpire shall extend the left arm horizontally with fist closed. To indicate a trapped ball, the umpire shall extend both arms horizontally to the side of the body with palms toward the ground. To indicate a ground rule double, the umpire shall extend the right hand above the head and at the same time indicate with 2 fingers the number of bases awarded. To indicate a home run, the umpire shall extend the right hand with closed fist closed above the head and circle the arm in a clockwise movement. To indicate an infield fly, the umpire shall call infield fly if fair, the batter is out. The umpire shall extend one arm above the head. To indicate not to pitch to indicate not to pitch, the umpire should raise one hand with the palm facing the pitcher. No pitch shall be declared if the pitcher pitches while the umpire has his hand in said position. Section 8. Suspension of play. An umpire may suspend play when his judgment conditions justify such action. Play shall be suspended whenever the plate umpire leaves his position to brush the plate or to perform other duties not directly connected with the calling of plays. So, the umpire shall suspend play whenever the batter or pitcher steps out of position of a legitimate reason. An umpire shall not call time after has started the wind up. An umpire shall not call time while any play is in progress. In case of injury, except in the umpire's judgment with a serious injury which may put the player in danger, time shall not be called until all plays in progress have been completed or runners have been held at their base. Next rule is the rule number 11, protests. Section 1, protests that will not be received. Protests shall not be received or considered if they are based solely on a decision involving the accuracy of judgment on the part of an umpire, or if the team lodging the protest won the game. Examples of protests that will not be considered are whether a batted ball was fair or foul, a runner was safe or out, a pitched ball was a strike or a ball, a pitch was illegal or illegal, a runner did or did not touch a base, a runner left the base too soon on a caught fly ball, a fly ball was or was not caught legally, whether it was or was not an infield fly, there was or was not an interference, whether there was or was not an obstruction, whether a player or live ball did or did not enter a dead ball area or touch some object or present in a dead ball area. Section 2, the protests that will be received. Protests shall be received and considered include matters of the following types: misinterpretation of the playing rule, failure of an umpire to apply the correct rule to given situation, failure to impose the correct penalty for a given violation. Note that protests for the above must be made before the next pitch, or before all infielders have left fair territory, or if on the last play of the game before the umpires leave the playing field, and after one pitch has been thrown, legal or illegal, no change can be made on any umpire's ruling. Eligibility of a team roster member. It can also be received. Note that protests for the above are to be submitted to the appropriate authority, not the umpires, and may be made at any time subject to the provisions of Rule 11, Section 5. Section 3. Protests involving judgment and interpretation of rule. Protests may involve both a matter of judgment and interpretation of a rule. An example of a situation of this type follows. With one out and the runners on second and third bases, the other flies out. The runner on third tagged up the catch. After the catch, the player on second did not. The runner on third crossed the plate before the ball was played at second base for the third out. The umpire did not allow the run to score. The questions as to whether the runners left their bases before the catch and whether the play at second was made before the player on third crossed the plate are solely matters of judgment and not protestable. Section 4. Notification of intent to lodge protest. The notification of intent to protest must be made immediately before the next pitch, except player ineligibility. The manager or acting manager of the protesting team shall immediately notify the plate umpire that the game is being continued under protest. All interested parties shall take notice of the conditions surrounding the making of the decision that will aid in the correct determination of the issue. Section 5. Time to lodge an official protest. The official written protest must be filed within a reasonable time. In the absence of a league or tournament rule fixing the time limit of filing a protest should be considered if filed within a reasonable time, depending upon the nature of the case and the difficulty of obtaining the information on which to base the protest. Section 6. Information required for written protest. The formal written protest should contain the following information: date, time, and place of the game, the names of the umpires and scorers, the rule and section of the official rules or local rules under which the protest is made, the decision and conditions surrounding the making of the action of the decision, all essential facts involved in the matter protested. Section 7. Last, for this rule, result of protest. The decision made on a protested game must result in one of the following. 1. The protest is found invalid and the game score stands as played. 2. When a protest is allowed for misinterpretation of playing rule, the game is replayed from the point at which the incorrect decision was made, with the decision corrected. And number 3, when a protest of ineligibility of a team roster member is allowed, the game shall be forfeited by the offending team. Last rule for the official rules in softball. Rule number 12, the scoring. Section 1, the official scorer. The official scorer shall keep records of each game as outlined in the following rules. Shall have the sole authority to make all decisions involving judgment, and for example, it is the scorer's responsibility to determine whether a batter's advance to the first base is the result of a hit or an error. However, a scorer shall not make a decision which conflicts with the official playing rules or with an umpire's decision. Section 2, the box score. Each player's name and the position or positions to be played shall be listed in the order in which he batted or would have batted, unless the player is legally substituted, ejected, or removed from the game, or the game ends before his turn at bat. Next section is the Section 3. Base hits shall not be recorded. A base hit shall not be scored in the following cases: when a runner is forced out by a batted ball or would have been forced out except for a fielding error, when a player fielding a batted ball retires a preceding runner with ordinary effort, when a fielder fields in an attempt to retire a preceding runner, and in the scorer's judgment the batter runner could have been retired at first base, and when a batter runner reaches the first base safely. Section 4. Sacrifice fly balls. A sacrifice fly is scored when with less than 2 outs, the batter scores a runner with a fly ball which is caught, or the ball or the line drive handled by an outfielder is dropped and a runner scores, and in the scorer's judgment, the runner could have scored after the catch had the fly been caught. Section 5. Runs batted in. A run batted in is a run scored because of one of the following reasons: a safe hit, a sacrifice bunt or slap hit, a foul fly caught, an infield put out or fielder's choice, a runner forced home because of obstruction, the batter being hit with a pitch ball or being given a base on balls, also if a home run, and all runs scored as a result. Section 3. Pitcher credited with a win. A pitcher shall be credited with a win in the following situations: when he is the starting pitcher and has pitched at least 4 innings, and his team was not only in the lead when he is replaced but remains in the lead for the remainder of the game. When a game is ended after 5 innings of play, and the starting pitcher has pitched at least 3 innings, and his team scores more runs than the other team when the game is terminated. Section 3. Pitcher charged with a loss. A pitcher shall be charged with a loss regardless of the number of innings he has pitched. If he is replaced when his team is behind in the score and his team thereafter fails to tie the score or gain the lead, the pitchers will be charged with a loss. Next section is Section 8, the game summary. The summary shall list the following items in this order. First, the score by innings and the final score. Second, the runs batted in by whom hit. Third, 2 base hits and by whom hit. Fourth, 3 base hits and by whom hit. Fifth, home runs and whom by hit. Sixth, double plays and players participating in them. Seventh, triple plays and players participating in them. 8. Number of walks given by each pitcher. 9. Number of batters struck out by each pitcher. 10th. Number of hits and runs allowed by each pitcher. 11th. The name of the winning pitcher. 12th. The name of the losing pitcher. 13th. The time of the game. 14th. The names of the umpires and scorers. 15th. Stolen bases and by whom. 16th. Sacrifice bunts. 17th. The names of batters hit by a pitched ball and the pitcher who hit them. 18th. The number of wild pitches made by each pitcher. And 19th. The number of passed balls made by each catcher. Next section is the stolen bases for Section 9. Stolen bases are credited to a runner whenever he advances 1 base unaided by a hit, a put out, an error, a force out, a fielder's choice, a passed ball, a wild pitch, or an illegal pitch. This includes a batter runner advancing to second on an awarded base on balls. Lastly, for the Section 10, records of forfeited games. All records of a forfeited game shall be included in the official records except that of a pitcher's one-lost card record. That's it for the official rules of softball. For a very short summary of the rules in softball, since sobrang haba talaga ng rules ng softball. First, the definition. Second is the playing field. Third, equipment. Fourth includes coaches, players, and substitutes. Fifth is about the game. Sixth rule is about pitching regulations for fast pitch, modified pitch, and slow pitch. Rule number 7 includes batting rules. Rule number 8 is about the batter runner and the runner. Rule number 9, dead ball and the ball in play. Rule number 10 is about the umpires. Rule number 11 includes the protests. And rule number 12 is about the scoring. This is all for this discussion. Thank you for watching the first part, the second part, and the third part of this report. God bless and have a good day ahead.